I used to be buried 6 feet deep in sin because it singed my heart. I'm sorry, God. I was just not yet ready, for I did not know where to start. You see, I started submitting to my worldly desire, to my worldly desires heavy. Sophomore year of high school, I began getting high after school. I remember my first inhale. My friend turned and made a remark along the lines of, see you inhale. I didn't realize at the time that God made a heart soft as a feather, so I was ill prepared for any bad weather, for a life of sin is like standing inhale. But I'll admit, it was nice at times to experience that elevation that eventually led to alleviation from my responsibilities. But what Satan was working in me was more than just your standard deviation. Statistically speaking, I was due for a divide. Inside, for my body is a home and Satan had just signed the lease. I could feel God whispering, speak now or forever hold your peace. He said, speak now or forever hold your peace. As in, my mind was the trigger and sin was the piece I had aimed towards me, while temptations warn me to listen or they'll make me say peace. Oh, I just wanted to be like the rest. I wasn't living righteous, but right-ish. I was in pieces, letting my flesh operate like it was my surgeon. Good and bad, the two sides were never merging. The world became my golden calf. There was no decisions I made on God's behalf. I was supposed to be one with Christ, but Satan wanted me to be half. I was his son, but had gotten eclipsed. He didn't part any sea for me because I was still stuck in Egypt. I was in the ring, bobbing and weaving, abusing God's grace. It took a beating but never knocked out. I was stuck in my head, resisting thoughts of lust at night before I knocked out. Stealing, anger, envy, greed, all those temptations were never locked out. Ignoring God's commandments like I didn't know what the word command meant. I was a sinner. If there was levels, I want to be a beginner or intermediate. I had addictions that gripped me like my TV show's favorite episodes, and I kept repeating it. Those chains had me in a bind. My life was like a movie, and I was in the audience watching it blind. I was dirty with sin like it had been years since I bathed. For my soul was the desires of my own heart, causing me to feel weak like Samson after he shaved. I was ignoring the very things that my life needed and lacked. I wasn't ready for the conviction in Romans because I was stuck in my acts. I was nothing. I was nothing. I did not know God's love, so I could not properly love myself, meaning I could not properly love my neighbor. I saw that pattern in my relationships and those consequences I paid for there was always a void. Every time I opened my mouth, it was seemingly just me speaking noise. Like a clanging cymbal, which became a hanging symbol in my life. I could never get anyone to stay. When you build your houses upon sand, the bound to look a little rocky. Love to me was anything that seemed to stick, like I was playing hockey, so I was always on thin ice. Battling every vice, heeding no advice. I just wanted what I thought was mine. So fruitless was my vines. I was a prostitute, selling my body to this world. They say it's your oyster, well I lusted for its pearl. Different girls, different trends I had to comprehend. So to a pedestal it did ascend, so I could fit in with all of my friends. Any new music I had to hear it, because it validated my lifestyle at the time when I listened to the lyrics. I was trapped in sin. I was nothing. I was in prison. I was bound to hell. I was in a sunken place I thought I'd never get out. And as I'm pouring this out on the page, thinking what y'all could possibly get out, a thought did occur. I was what you were. Listen to these words, because I know they ring to be true. For when we experience unity as Christians, is that through Christ and Christ alone, each and every single one of us are made to be new. So by the grace of God, I am who you are. A child of God that is redeemed in a godless culture that is bursting at the seams. It's easy underneath the steeple to hide when things aren't as together as they seem. Political debates, the election, well, we've all been elected to. I was nothing. I was in prison. I was bound to hell. I was in a sunken place I thought I'd never get out. And as I'm pouring this out on the page, thinking what y'all could possibly get out, a thought did occur. I was what you were. Listen to these words, because I know they ring to be true. For when we experience unity as Christians, that through Christ and Christ alone, each and every single one of us are made to be new. So by the grace of God, I am who you are. A child of God that is redeemed in a godless culture that is bursting at the seams. It's easy underneath the steeple to hide when things aren't as together as they seem. Political debates, the election, well, we've all been elected to the same team. The forbidden fruit, we've all taken a taste. Judging off of looks, we all have the same finish line. Why worry about a different race? Why worry about another's past? God's present is a present, and what he operates in is who we are in our present. Unity. We are all under God. No matter where your life is stationed, no separation, one nation, one congregation under God. And through my transformation, I am who you are, and I was who you were. Thank you.